two of my female friends are moving into a new house rent-free because one of their parents owns it. It is a 3-bedroom house, and they have invited me to live there with them. They're my best friends, and I spend most of my time with them. My concern is whether or not it's a good idea to live with 2 women with whom I have no romantic connection with, because TV has taught me that doesn't always work out well from Gmail.
From just Zombie John Ritter.
just a reminder, if you're writing into like a gender specific question like this, make sure to include your own gender, because it can get kind of confusing.
I'm thinking it's male.
It is the male.
I think you're right. I managed to piece it together from context clues, but I had to devote brain cycles to that I could have been using coming up with advice and wisdom.
Yeah. Or a cure for contagion.
Mm-hmm. I lived with a girl I was not romantically attached to for a month once. It was in an apartment. What?
Travis did the same thing, didn't he?
I did it for like 3 months, and it's not a good idea.
I lived with a couple, and it was great.
Well, a couple
is different.
You're a secret third wheel. Wait, are the girls a couple? I don't think they are. I think they would have mentioned that.
If they are, then yes.
Yes.
Live in there.
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't think it has any more complications than moving in with anyone. It's just different complications.
Yeah.
Explain, Trav.
Well, like, you move with anyone you don't know or anyone you haven't lived with before, and you have a certain amount of how's this going to go. Maybe we're going to do things that is going to annoy each other. Maybe we'll hate each other. Will they find it wherever I hit it? They find that thing that they can never find. Exactly. And with moving in with female roommates, there's a certain amount of like, what tensions could possibly be created over a year that you're not expecting.
You're talking about sexy stuff.
Yeah,
sexy. And you got to assume with 2 women, they're going to find it wherever you hit that thing.
Where did you hide it? Because it's not deep enough, buried in the yard. Where
they can never, the one thing, the thing they can never, ever find. They're going to find it.
Yeah.
You get 2 girls together, they're going to go full Scooby-Doo. They don't even know what it is.
Scoop it up and just be all up in your shit.
They're going to find it. That's
you would have gotten away with it too.
That's the big worry. I think it could work, with especially, I think 2 would be easier than 1, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
too.
I think so too.
Personally,
I think you have to turn off that switch in your brain that tries to interpret things as like flirting. Or, that thing where it's like, oh, she just touched my shoulder, or she said I look really cute. Just turn that switch right off, and just you are like a monk to them. You have no feelings towards them in any romantic way, and you have to set that up from the get-go.
You do have to prepare yourself for some of the other unspoken things that come up when you're living with women, 2 women, vis-a-vis period stuff.
Yeah.
No, please indulge me.
Well, they're just gonna,
Please go on.
They're just gonna, they're gonna period, and when that happens, you gotta be prepared.
And with 2 of them, they're gonna sync up.
They are going to sync, and when that happens,
so really, you're saying you're going to live in a place for 3 weeks, a month, is basically.
Yeah,
you're going to live in a place for 3 weeks to take a week off.
I am not entirely sure that I know what a period is.
I'm in fact sure I don't. I think that if King of Queens has taught me anything, there's knives involved and a lot of growling.
I think it's when you get
and a lot of snickerdoodles. I think
I think you get
eating constantly.
You get like pregnant, like temporarily for 4 days, right?
Mm-hmm. Basically, yes.
But with like
temporarily pregnant,
with like a ghost baby, and then it goes away. I think.
That's where Casper came from. Actually.
That's where ghosts come from. All ghosts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have never been as uncomfortable in 1 second as I just was. It just washed over me. Like
it's called the Justin flip. He flips it on you. I think you're going to be fine. And I think that, you know what?
Well, apart from all the period ghosts.
Except for that, you're going to be fine. Hang some garlic up. That's key.
Yeah.
The other thing is, not knowing how a situation's going to work out is not a good reason to not do it.
I completely agree.
I don't know. Maybe it's awesome.
And brace yourself for becoming one of the girls. It's just going to happen. You got to deal with it.
Right. Top model.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's be honest now in this enlightened age. that can be kind of awesome.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
girls
girls
they decorate better. The house always smells better.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know, like
Most of the better TV is targeted at women.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every
That's a fact.
time I went over to a girl's house in college, I always thought, man, I wish my house was decorated like this. Because it looks like an adult house. It looks like a nice place that people
So-
actually want to be.
They always have juices and almond milk
Yeah.
sitting around, super fruits.
Just so I'm clear, Trav, on the before we get the emails, and to make sure they get directed at the right person, you're saying that the nice thing about living with two women is that it's always clean. Is that what you're saying?
Wow.
That they
No,
there's
it's
always
just
a hot meal on the table when you come home from the
Can I
Salt
say-
Nines?
Can I say, because it's just a nicer place to be, a nicer environment, a gentler environment?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'll let that slide.
I don't think
Alright.
clean is right because I know some dirty girls.
Yeah.
You know, I know some
Kirkman
messy,
actually knows all the dirty girls.
I know some messy ladies, and also you got to think about how much of that apartment, the square footage, is going to be covered in ectoplasm.
You know, from the ghosts.
I think people knew what I was talking about when I said ectoplasm.
Do you remember? Do you remember we were talking about it like 5 minutes ago? Was this
Remember?
whole goof?
I
that we
want
were doing?
everyone to know that this whole episode for me is about period ghosts.
Oh, good. So tune in. Go get the fam. Go get,
Gather around the radio.
go get Unky Dan around the radio.